Welcome everybody to another video of the Python Foundation series. And in this video, we're going to focus on callbacks. So callbacks is a concept in Python which is quite heavily used. And sometimes it can be a bit confusing to understand the concept because there are a lot of moving parts in this concept. And sometimes, it's a bit hard to visualize those. So the main purpose of this video is to illustrate those moving parts, to break them down, make them simple to understand. And then we will also see a demo of a callback towards the end. So stay tuned. So let's jump right into and try to understand, what is the main use case of a callback. So callback, the word callback means, when you have like a long running operation which you need to perform from within your Python script, you can delegate that operation to a method, which might take its time. Say, for example, if the operation is about downloading a file over the network, if the network is slow, it might take quite long to get the file. And ideally, what we want to do is we want to delegate that operation into a method of itself or a class of itself. And whenever that operation is done, we want to register a function which should be automatically called back, by that method. So that's from where the word callback comes in. So let's take more example, try to understand this. So what we are seeing here is towards the left this is, say, for example, we got a main file in Python, the main.py, and say I want to download a file from the web, from any URL. So for that, typically we can write a separate function for this. We can even write a separate class. So the green bit over here is the code which will be used to actually download the file. Say it's a function of its own. And the purpose of this code is to actually make a call to the web server, get the file, and once we have the file, which is returned to this method, and then we have to return this file back to the main code. So how it works is, for my callback to work from my main.py, whenever I call this download file method, like whenever I initiate my call to the download file method, I need to register another method in main.py as a callback. Say in our scenario, we got a method called download completed in the blue box. So how we want to set this up is whenever the file has been downloaded, then automatically call our download completed method. And how that will happen is, now as you can see in the orange animation, the file is being downloaded, and once the file is downloaded, it will automatically call our download completed method. So I'm going to demonstrate this through Visual Studio Code so you can see it all in action. So let me quickly go to the Visual Studio Code. So as you can see in the Visual Studio Code, we got our code written. I'll try to explain how the exact scenario works over here. So what we have is, first of all, like, we are importing the sleep package just to demonstrate a bit of a network delay. So we'll be just using we'll be introducing a wait of 5 seconds. And this is my download file method. As you can see, so when this method is called, we just display a message that the file is being downloaded. But before that, to call this method, you need a URL from which you're downloading, and then you also need the callback. If you remember from the previous discussion, that we need to register the callback in the download method so that it knows, when the operation is completed, where to go. And then we are just simulating a bit of a network delay by sleeping the thread for 5 seconds. And we're simulating the actual file contents to a file content string variable. This is just string, which tells, okay, these are the file contents that have been downloaded. And then what we do is we have a bit of a logic, like what to simulate. Like sometimes the file is successful, sometimes the file is failed. So we're storing the status of our request, the download request, in a status string, and then we are calling back the actual method. So the way it works is, here in my arguments, this callback is actually a function. You will see next, when we walk through the code. Let me quickly show you from here. Say when I'm invoking this download file method here in my main, I am calling the download file, I'm passing it a URL, but the second argument, if you pay attention to it, this is a special argument. This is an argument which is a reference to another method. If you see here, download completed is actually a function. So I'm passing a reference to this function, and what will happen then is this reference gets passed to this callback argument, and once the file has been downloaded, then this function is automatically called through this callback. And then what happens is, once our callback is called, we just display a message saying your download has been completed. Let me quickly run you this code and show it in action. So what will happen is, firstly we'll call file1, and then we'll wait for 5 seconds. Then we'll call the same method again using file2, and then we'll see what the results are. Let's quickly run this code. So we're calling file1, and I think file1 is simulating a failure. Say, for example, file1 failed to download. And then we're calling the download file again with a file2 this time, and that comes with success. And then we're also showing the contents of the file. So if I have to quickly switch back to the code again just to explain what happened, we called it first time and we registered the callback, and when the download file method got called, it simulated a bit of a delay, simulated the file contents, and then there's a bit of a logic here in success which says, if you are, this is a bit of an if condition just to simulate that if you're calling file2, then it should be success, otherwise it should be failure. So that's why file2 passed and file1 failed. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes it clear. You can again go back to the previous presentation. You can try to relate how these things get called if you are confused, hopefully. And if you have any other questions, post in the comments. I can try to answer it. So thank you for watching the video. So I hope you like it.